Guys, this is one of the last videos that we'll be taking a look at one variable inequalities. But first, Brody drew you all a picture for me to show you. So Brody, can you tell him what it is?
A roller coaster.
A roller coaster, and he said it was going backwards. And if you could see the colors, he did it in red. So he wanted you guys to see that. So we'll move to the notes that we're looking at now, and we're going to start off with a problem that you have worked since you've been in like 5th grade. And so notice the title of this set of notes is one variable inequalities. And so you can see that this inequality only does have one variable with it. It has x, and so that's what we're solving for. So algebraically, you've been able to solve a problem like this, like I said, since very early middle school for you guys. And so when you solve it, you know the solution set is x is greater than or equal to 2 algebraically, and we can write that as 2 with a bracket to infinity. Now, the thing is, we want to know what in the world does this actually mean graphically. So we've talked a lot about in our class how every equation can be solved graphically. And when you're taking an equation that's set equal to 0, we know that we're looking for x-intercepts. Well, what about an equality here where we have a function that's greater than or equal to 0? We want to look at it graphically as well. Now, the thing is, you've really been doing this quite a bit throughout the year. Instead of saying 2x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0, I could have asked you to find where f of x is greater than or equal to 0. So let's think about that. Let's let f of x be 2x minus 4. Well, you know how to graph that. It's a line. So I'm going to graph my y-intercept and graph our rate of change. Here's our line. And so I asked you a whole bunch of questions very similar to this on your work that you had for yesterday. Where is the function greater than or equal to 0? So let me expand on this for just a second. When you're asked 2x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0, you're really being asked for what? X values is f of x greater than or equal to 0. And so I'm sure you guys can see we're looking for where y is greater than or equal to 0. Really, where are our y values greater than or equal to 0? And so we see that at 2 is our x-intercept, and so our y values are all greater than or equal to 0 from 2 to infinity. Now what this leads us to is actually being able, and this is what we'll do in the rest of these problems, to create what is called a sign chart. And the sign chart is really just the x-axis. So if you think about, I'm drawing this directly under the function. What would be important to denote from our function on this x-axis? Well, definitely this x-intercept at 2. So at the x value of 2, our y value is 0. Then this is called a sign chart because you're really taking this number line, taking this x-axis, and you're indicating the sign. And when I say sign, I'm talking about positive or negative. I'm talking about S-I-G-N sign, whether that sign is positive or negative. So to the right of the x value of 2, what are your y values? They're positive. To the left of the x value of 2, what are your y values? They're all negative. So we have created a sign chart, and this sign chart is a way that we can solve this equation graphically. Or inequality, excuse me. We're trying to find where is this function greater than or equal to 0. So we're looking for where on our sign chart is this positive. So that's what you're really doing even when you were in Algebra 1 and you were graphing these things. That's what you were really doing. So let's go on to this next problem. So notice that we've changed this a little bit. So notice this time we're looking at a quadratic. And we're actually this time going to start by graphing it. And the reason that we're going to graph it is because we actually can't do this one algebraically, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. So we're going to graph x squared minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. We know we can use transformations for this. It's a quadratic, move down 4. We can certainly use difference of squares to factor and find our 2x intercepts. Of course, transformations will get those for us as well. And so here we go. So I'm going to come down below and I'm going to create this sign chart. Now this sign chart again is really just the x-axis. And on this sign chart, what would be important is -2, and I'm trying to line this up, and 2, because on the y-axis, or excuse me, on the x-axis there, these both have a y value of 0. Okay, because those are x-intercepts. So let's go to the left of -2. What are your y values of your function? They're positive. In the middle, what are your y values? They're all negative. To the right of 2, all your y values there are positive. So we've created this sign chart. And this sign chart now allows us to answer our inequality. And I've already written here that we're looking for what values of x is the function greater than or equal to 0. Or you could say, well, for what values of x are the y values greater than or equal to 0. So we're looking for where are these positive or 0. So I'm going to write this as an interval. So I've got -infinity to -2. And -2 here is inclusive because it's also equal to. And then union, and it picks back up being positive from 2 to infinity. So there's our solution set. That's the solution to this inequality. So let's go back and talk about why we can't do this algebraically. Well, I'm going to show you what most people try to do. So they try to factor this. Okay. Then they take incorrectly each factor and set it equal to 0. Now, I want you to think about this for just a minute, greater than or equal to 0. We do know that a positive times a positive will give us something greater than 0. But what else will? A negative times a negative. That's true. And here's the thing. The other thing to think about is that just because one of these is greater than or equal to 0, does it make the product greater than or equal to 0? I mean, look at the solution set you got. You've got x is greater than or equal to -2, and x is greater than 2. Remember, if this just said set it equal to 0, the whole reason that we set each factor equal to 0 is from the zero product property, which is what you learned in 3rd grade. And what you learned in 3rd grade says, if x minus 2 is 0, anything times 0 is 0. That's the whole reason this works. But if you're taking this greater than or equal to 0, there is no property that says, oh, if this is greater than 0, the product is going to be greater than 0. Nope, we can't do it. So we have to work these one variable inequalities that you're getting ready to see. We have to work them graphically. The reason linears work is because it is simply just linear. Now, the nice thing about sign charts is that we can actually use sign charts to answer other types of inequalities. So for example, notice here we still have x squared minus 4. We still have the same function. That function will use the exact same sign chart. We are just now being asked, where is this function less than 0? So in other words, we're taking our sign chart and looking to see for what values of x is this function negative. Are the y values negative? In other words, below the x-axis. Well, we can see that. I'm going to use parentheses because it's not equal to. So from negative 2 to 2. And there's our solution set. All right, we've got just a few more of these that we'll take a look at. So we can see our next problem is another polynomial. It's actually 4th degree. And I've already written here that we're looking for what values of x is f of x less than 0. So the big thing that we want to first find, and this is kind of side work for us, is we want to find where it would be equal to 0. We do want to find those x-intercepts. And you guys know how to graph these, okay? And I'm working this kind of down here because it's side work. So I take each factor, set each factor equal to 0. I get x equals 3, which, by the way, will bounce because it has an even multiplicity. X equals negative 1, which will cross. X equals 5, which will cross. It has odd multiplicity. Since this is a degree 4 and there's a positive out front, I know what our end behavior will look like. And another thing I can check really quickly would be the y-intercept. So let's see, that's going to be 9 times 1 times negative 5, so negative 45. So I'm going to come back up here and graph negative 1, 3, and 5. I know my end behavior will be up and up. I know my y-intercept is going to be way down here. At negative 1 it crosses, at 3 it bounces, and at 5 it crosses. Now my next question is, in order to draw our sign chart, will we need to know where this minimum is located? The only thing that we need to know is the y value. And based off our graph, or the sign of the y value, based off our graph, are we able to determine the sign of the y value? Yeah, we are. We don't really care exactly where these maximums and minimums are. So on my sign chart, which just represents the x-axis, I've got negative 1, 3, and 5, and I'm going to write a 0 above those because those are x-intercepts. To the left of negative 1, what's your value of y? They're all positive. Here in the middle, negative. Between 3 and 5, negative. And 5 to infinity are all positive. So I now can go back and answer my question. It says, for what values of x is f of x less than 0? So I'm going to have parentheses, negative 1 to 3, union 3 to 5. And notice I didn't include 3 here because at 3, it's equal to 0. So just to speed up time for just a few moments, I went ahead and did number 3. Notice one of the factors produces imaginary solutions, which I don't need for the graph. 3 and negative 2. I kind of know what it looks like down here, but you don't have to. You just need to know that those y values are negative. So I created my sign chart. Again, it's just your x-axis in order to get negative 2 to 3. So let's look at this last one. So I'm graphing a logarithm, and I know its parent function goes through 1, 0, and b, 1, and it has a vertical asymptote at x equals 0. So everything's gone left 3. I've gone ahead and I've moved this left 3. So what would be important here? Well, at negative 3, it's undefined. And actually to the left of that, it's not in the domain. It's undefined as well. At negative 2, it's 0 is the y value. Now, what's the y value between negative 3 and negative 2? Those y's are all negative. And then from negative 2 to infinity, those y's are all positive. So based off that, we can answer our solution set. Where is this function greater than or equal to 0? So it would be from negative 2 included to infinity.